Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Aileen and here we like to talk about all things makeup, mostly luxury makeup, skincare, and fashion. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I really hope you consider subscribing and joining the family. She's here, the entire collection. Today we're going to talk about and create a few looks with the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I did pick up the whole collection. I picked up the palette, the My Dream Cheek Trio with the blush and highlighter, and the lip gloss, lipstick, and lip liner. So if you're interested in a few looks and seeing those in action, then keep on watching. But before we go, consider subscribing and joining the family. Let's get to it. I'm excited for this. If you're new here, I am a Natasha Denona fan. I love her palettes, all except the Zendo. I didn't like it. I actually just sold it on Mercari. But as far as the Natasha Denona Dream palette, it does come with 15 shades. It's her midi. It's not the large, it's not the small, and these are the shades here. It does come with a large mirror, and I will swatch these for you. And Jamila did point out, and it did come with spontaneous spelled incorrectly. Kind of sad for Natasha Denona, unless it was done purposely. I'm not sure, but it is spelled incorrectly. It does have a 24-month shelf life. The outer packaging, so like these splashes of black, it is embossed. So it's like raised. It's nice. So is the name. It's nice. And on the back, it does have the ability to pop out the shades so you can rearrange the palette, either this palette, or if you want to create your own dream palette with your Natasha Denona palettes that you may have in your collection. So that's really cool. Next is the Cheek Trio, and this does come with blush and highlighter. It is a cream blush, a glow cream base, and the Dream Glow powder. This does have an 18-month shelf life. So this is the cream blush. This is the glow cream base and the Dream Glow. So I'm definitely excited for this. Can't wait to give it a try. And then we have the lip liner. It's like a nudie pink. Let me swatch these first. So there is the lip liner. It is totally up my alley. This is my go-to shade. It does have an 18-month shelf life. If it is the same formula, and it definitely felt like it as her other liners, I know I will absolutely love it. The lipstick does come with the same packaging and design as the palette. It is magnetic, very nice. And this is like a soft rubber, and here is the shade here. And it's very creamy. That was one swatch. I absolutely love that combo. And next is the gloss. I've never tried a Natasha Denona gloss. I'm not big on glosses, but I've been getting into them a little bit more. The packaging is the same, and the lip gloss does have an 18-month shelf life. Ooh, that's a pretty gloss. That is a beautiful shade. This is the gloss here. Very nice. So let's move on to swatching the trio, and then I will swatch the palette. So it says cream blush. It doesn't feel like a cream. It feels like a powder when you swatch, when you put your finger in it, but it feels creamy and soft when you swatch it. The glow cream base, now that does feel creamy. It is creamy, and it definitely is a cream. Looks like a cream highlighter. And the Dream Glow. Wow. That is nice. Very nice. Now, if you're watching and you see my bruise, I did slip and fall, and I tried to brace my fall, and I have quite a few bruises. Unfortunately, one of them is here. It looks worse than it feels, but I'm sorry. So next, let's swatch the palette. I'm gonna swatch first row, second row, third row in that direction. So here is the first row. This is Blackest Black, Aspiration, Serenity, Carpe Diem, and Babies. I will say this Aspiration shade did not swatch the best, but it is also a matte, and mattes sometimes don't swatch great, but perform great. But this Baby's shade felt like a wet, creamy shadow. This was amazing. I can't wait to use it. Next, we have Instinct. This is like one of her cream to powders. This swatched beautifully. This is Thrill. This is Unity. This is Risk. And this is Invention. Invention is definitely a topper type shade, if you can see that there. But this shade, wow. These two, the way they swatched just felt so creamy, wet, but then they swatched and they were dry. They just glide. Absolutely amazing. Vision, so this is the duochrome shift shade. If you can see that pinky purple with that green, absolutely beautiful. I didn't look up the details of the palette because I wanted a non-biased opinion. I didn't even want to read the details, but wow, you can see the shift in that shade. Okay, so here's the last row, starting with Vision, Edgy, Spontaneous, Nurture, and Familia. This bottom row swatched the best of them all with these two. Just wow. I'm excited. So here is the entire palette. And the cream highlighter, the powder highlighter, the blush, and the lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss. So let's move on to the eye looks. I will say I did wipe these off with a rag and Bioderma. That lip liner did not want to come off. So let's see, where do we start? Because this is just heavenly. I think I want to start with the bottom row. Before I start, what's on my face? I am doing a wear test with the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Powder. I do have on brows, the Tom Ford Brow Sculpt Pencil and Gel, and bronzer in Gucci, the shade 3. I really had to build it up a little bit because this was way too light. And for primer, I have the Sisley Double Tensure, and I just have a lip oil on. But that is it. I don't have blush. I don't have eyeshadow. Oh, and I do have on concealer, the Dior Forever Skin Correct. So let's start. I'm excited. So I believe I want to start with the shade Edgy, and I will have the palette on the screen showing what I'm using. But I really want to pat this in, and don't worry if it starts looking bad. Trust the process. I really want to just tap this on, tap this in out here, placing the shade where I want it. And I place that using a Luxie 207. It's an angled dense brush. Then with a Luxie 237, I'm going to go into the shade Familia. I definitely have to tap that up. It picked up a lot. And if you can see the shade there, it does have a lot of kick up in the pan. So I'm just going to tap. Then I'm going to bring this shade and kind of sculpt right above the crease. Next, I'm going to go into Nurture and tap that off and really just soften those edges of the shadows that I just placed. You can definitely see the pigmentation, how easily those lay down, how easily they blended together. They're just beautiful. Next, I want to apply Vision all over the lid. That's the dual chrome shade. So this is a Refer 2. And I want to see, wow, that really just glides on. But considering how well it's swatched, I feel it will apply better with the finger. Yes, wow, that's a nice shade. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm not one to like duochromes like that, but this is special. Next, I'm gonna go back into Edgy, which was the first shade I placed, and really just start flicking that inward. And then just tapping it with what's on my finger from Vision and bringing in Edgy. Wow, just wow. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, but that is nice. Okay, I kind of got excited. Next, with a Sonia G Pencil Pro, I'm gonna go into Spontaneous, and I'm gonna use that as an inner highlight, and I like to also bring it onto the lid a little. Wow, that is pretty. And what is left on my brush, I'm just gonna put it on the highest arch of the brow and then flick it inward and outward. Wow, that was just so easy. These blended beautifully. I'm gonna go with the Sonia G Pencil Pro, and I'm gonna get edgy and do the lower lash. I'm just gonna bring that onto the lower half, and then with Nurture, bring that all the way across. Same brush. And here you are. That was so quick, so easy. The fact that they are so pigmented and have no fallout, it's a beautiful duochrome. Like, and I'm not even sure if the camera can do this justice. It's divine. I really like this eye look. Let me apply some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here's the look with liner and mascara. Like, wow. That is beautiful. I absolutely love it. I did apply the 2 coats of the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced. I tight lined with the Makeup by Mario in Perfect Brown, always. And on the lower lash line, I did use the Gucci liner in Amethyst all the way across, and just on the outer third, the Wayne Goss eye kohl pencil, and this one is in this shade Deep Amethyst. So I'm not sure if you can see the liner there, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. So let's move on to eye look number 2. For eye look number 2, I'm gonna start with Instinct. I loved how this shade swatched, and I'm gonna start with a Refer 15, and I'm just going to give it this shape that I want and start bringing it through the crease a little bit. That shade applied effortlessly. Effortlessly. I love these shades so much in the formula, and they're so easy to blend that I feel like I'm going outside my comfort zone, and I'm okay with it. Next, I'll use Carpe Diem, and that's just to soften up the lines. And I didn't want to bring that pink all the way in, but I will bring this shade all the way in. And I did apply the Carpe Diem shade with the Luxie 237. I did clean them with Cinema Secrets after my first eye look. Next, with the Angie Hot and Flashy A505, I want to apply that baby shade, that rose gold, beautiful shade all over the lid. I feel like I liked how it swatched and how it performed better with my finger than with the brush. I'm going to use my pinky because I want to be more precise, but I really, really love how this shade swatched because it's like a creamy, I have to look it up, but it's so creamy that the heat of the finger just melts it in, and it's absolutely divine, and it performs so much better with the finger. Like, I thought Glam was my favorite palette. They might be neck and neck here. Oh, that's a pretty everyday. With the Sonia G Pencil Pro, I want to try Thrill on the inner corner. That's pretty. I'm also going to bring that shade into the brow to highlight. And then I'm going to blend those in. Very pretty. This is more blown out and lifted. This is more elongated and deeper. I really like it. I want to see how the aspiration shade works like a liner as a liner. Oh, that's going on nicely. We'll have to see how it wears as a liner. And this is just a small angled liner brush. I can't even tell you who it's by. I've had it so long the name wore off. And then I'm just gonna flick it at the end for a small wing. that worked really well as a liner. I want to bring the Carpe Diem shade into the lower lash. And that'll just keep it lighter and more open. Oh, that's pretty. So here's the second look without liner or mascara. Let me add some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here's the second eye look with liner and mascara. Very quick, very easy, very pretty. I love this palette. Was that a spoiler alert? Sorry. Let's move on to the cheek trio. So let's start with blush. I'm excited. I'm excited for both eye looks. They're both so pretty. So I'm gonna start with the cream blush. It says cream blush, but it's not a cream. What really is a cream, it doesn't feel like a cream. What really is a cream is the glow cream base right in the center. That is definitely, so you definitely get some pigment with just a few taps. Oh, yeah, she's pigmented. So I'm just gonna softly brush that on. I'm not one for heavy blush, but I definitely want you to see it. But I still want to be confident when I wear it. Not like I'm going to go anywhere with two different eye looks, but you know what I mean. That's pretty. That's with blush and bronzer, and that's just bronzer. That's pretty. So on this side, if you really don't like to bring your blush down towards the center of your face too far, that's what I did here, just so you can see the difference. So this is with the blush focused here, and then this is just catching the apple of the cheek and bringing it all the way up. Pretty shade. Has a little bit more pinkiness to it than the Patrick Tashi Soleil. It has that nudiness to it, but it has a tinge of pink, but like a burnt rose. It is beautiful. Now, this is why I was excited, because what's been my go-to is a cream highlighter topped with a powdered highlighter. And I'm not one to go for face palettes often, but I figured this is a trio. It doesn't have like 6, so I'm really excited to give this a try. So what I want to do is just dip my finger in there and really focus on, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have to put powder on top. Yeah, I have to. I'm oily. Look at me suddenly forgetting. I like to bring it from the top of the brow all the way around. That is beautiful. That really sunk into the skin. And I'm not sure if you can see that glow. Oh, that is pretty. That is pretty on its own. Unfortunately, I am oily and I will have to set it. But there it is on its own. And with a unit 305, I'm gonna apply the Dream Glow right over it. Oh, she's blingy. I used to not like a blingy highlight because it had so much texture, but I don't have as much texture in this area anymore. That is pretty. And because I'm oily, and let's admit it, I'll be shiny like this in no time. I really hope the camera is picking that up. That is gorgeous. And I'm gonna look forward and bring it right there a little bit. Yes. I'm using the viewfinder as a mirror. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, I really like that. So on this side, I'm just gonna apply the powder so you can see it on its own. Oh, she has the same impact as the cream on its own or combined. Wow. Oh, that is really, really pretty. The powder on its own, it's more like a subtle natural, but if you catch it with the right light, you see the bling. You really do. And then I'm one to highlight the Cupid's bow. Is that still a thing? I don't know. I do it. I never do the nose because I don't like to draw attention to my nose, but I'll do it because I like this shade. She's pretty. So here's the powder on its own, as well as all the nodes in the Cupid's bow, and here it is combined, the cream with the powder. I really, really like this. Okay, I'm excited. Let's move on to lips. Hopefully these are not disappointing. Okay, so I went ahead and I removed the lip oil I had on. These typically just glide effortlessly. Yep, and this one's no different. Not sure if you can see it. It is the same color as my lips. Kind of blends in. And there's the liner on its own. That did glide beautifully. Next, let's try the lipstick. That is creamy. Very creamy, very nice. I like that it's a nude, but I don't feel like it really washes out and gives like the concealer lips. Let's see what it looks like with the lip gloss. It is a very creamy, nice formula. I will say that. As creamy as it is, I really don't feel I need the lip gloss, but let's try it. The gloss is very nice. It's not goopy. It's not sticky. I will just say, me personally, if I'm going to use the gloss, then I'll just fill my lips with the liner and top it with a gloss. I wouldn't do the lipstick and the gloss. The lipstick is creamy on its own. But there you are. It's really pretty. Now let's talk about my final thoughts. I love it. My favorite is the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette, so I have retro and I have not even played with it. I will admit that. But this by far, if this is your color story, the formula is not going to disappoint at all. I only didn't use 5 of the 15 shades, and I love both eye looks. Absolutely love them. I have never had an issue with the way Natasha Denona shadows wear. Even the Zendo palette that I wasn't a fan of, those shadows did wear nicely. My issue with that palette was if you used more than 2 shadows, they kind of just all blended together and looked like one shadow was used. It was really weird. The formula just wasn't there. It just wasn't what I have really grown to love with Natasha Denona. But this is what I fell in love with. This could be glam. However, just the color story, the fact that it's not my everyday color story wouldn't beat the glam. But if I was just talking formula wise, this would take it. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you like the color story, if you weren't sure if it was a hit or miss of Natasha's, this is definitely a hit. This vision shade that you can see the shift all over the lid here, like she just really, she hit the nail on the head with this one. I would highly recommend it. The blush and highlighter trio, I really like it. I like the blush color. This is a go-to blush color for me. I'm not sure if it can be built up. I can definitely try that, but I'm not one. Yes, absolutely yes. As soon as I hit the dot, as soon as I tapped it. So yes, it's definitely buildable. If you like more oomph in your blush, I'm just gonna buff that out because that's not my forte, but it definitely is buildable. Like I said, I really think it's like the Patrick Tashi Soleil with just like a burnt rose in it. This cream highlighter is beautiful. It's a true pearly champagne mixed cream highlighter. And although this looks more gold in the pan, it really is not. It looks like a powdered form of the cream highlighter. It is absolutely stunning. If you feel you would only use one of the three or even two of the three, then no, don't do it. Don't do it. If you feel you would absolutely use all three of these, I say go for it. Formula is there. I really like the highlighter, the powder on its own, and this is the cream with the powder over it to set it. Absolutely gorgeous. I really like it. As far as the lip products go, I love her lip products. The lipstick is very nice, very creamy. Like I said, I definitely don't think it would need to be topped with a gloss because it's that creamy. If I were going to use the gloss, I would just line and fill my lips in maybe a little bit more with the pencil and then go in with the gloss. But the gloss, I liked when I swatched it that it actually has pigmentation to it, and it's not sticky, it's not goopy. When you open and close your mouth, you don't have lines of gloss. Like, you know what I mean. It's just not cute. This is a nice gloss. This is a very nice gloss, and I'm definitely gonna be continuing to create eye looks because I really enjoyed doing these eye looks. They were easy, they were effortless, they blended seamlessly. I am definitely happy I picked this up. Let me know if you picked it up. Which one of the two eye looks are your favorite? Do you plan on picking it up? And what do you think of the collection? If you have anything you'd like me to compare it to, I know retro is a popular one, or any others, leave it down in the comments. I'll probably do that in a dedicated either video or over on Instagram at amerchbeauty. But thank you all so much for coming, and until next time, don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Bye.